Now, reporting from Lexington, Buena Vista, and Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Hello, and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Megan Shaw.
And I'm Alex Maragos. Lexington police announced late this afternoon that they have a suspect under arrest for trying to solicit sex from mostly Washington and Lee University women near the campus. Police say they are holding Jesse Neiman on a variety of charges. Right now, the Millboro man faces a felony prostitution charge. He also faces a lesser charge, but police say he will face additional charges, including another felony count. Police say he has a record of prison time for breaking and entering and attempted rape. He has served 9 years in prison. Police tell the Rockbridge Report that there were several incidents on the back campus of Washington and Lee University on Denny Circle and other locations near the campus. They charge he would approach women jogging or walking by themselves and proposition them for sex. Lexington police investigator Sherry Paget told the Rockbridge Report after the original report came in January, police learned of previous incidents.
We take very seriously here is keeping you guys safe. I know there's been a lot of stuff that goes on back and forth and all, but ultimately, I mean, when we looked at him as a predator.
Arrested on Tuesday, Neiman is being held without bail currently in the Rockbridge County Jail.
The first-degree murder trial of former University of Virginia lacrosse player George Hughley is well into its second week. He is charged with the beating death of his former on- and off-again girlfriend, Yardley Love. The prosecution's final witnesses testified yesterday, but the trial was postponed today after one of Hughley's attorneys got sick. The trial resumes tomorrow. Last week, Carilion Clinic announced that it plans to base its new helicopter, Lifeguard 12, at Stonewall Jackson Hospital. Rockbridge reporter Alex Maragos finds out what it will take to get this project off the ground.
Stonewall Jackson Hospital might soon be home to Carilion Clinic's third helicopter. Hospital CEO Chuck Carr is excited about the project.
Just certainly speaks volumes to the commitment that Carilion has made to our hospital in this community, and I'm just tickled to death to have it here.
Councilman Bob Lira was also pleased when the plan was privately revealed to him about a month ago.
Sounds like a win-win for our community as well as for Carilion.
The hospital hopes the helicopter will reduce critical transport time during emergencies.
When you're talking about cardiac issues or level 1 trauma issues, that 20-30 minutes can be huge.
Although a new medical helicopter in Lexington could mean a quicker response time, it can also mean higher medical bills. Airlifting passengers to a hospital can cost thousands of dollars. The cost of a flight varies with the destination, but Carr says the patient doesn't always pay for an airlift.
Most of your flights are reimbursable by either your insurance company or your Medicare coverage, whatever coverage that the person would have.
Before the helicopter can fly its first patient, a hangar must be designed and approved by City Council and the Planning Commission. Councilman Lira says a helicopter enhances Stonewall Jackson's community services.
Actually, I think bolsters the attractiveness of Stonewall Jackson as the first point to go to in an emergency situation.
Carr hopes that storage and maintenance facilities can be built next to the current helicopter pad. A public hearing on the plan is expected in March. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Alex Maragos.
If the plan is approved by City Council, Lifeguard 12 will serve the northern region of Carilion's hospital network.
The Virginia General Assembly has stubbed out Delegate Joseph D. Morrissey's cigarette butt littering bill for the second year in a row. Morrissey says the problem with the current littering law is that it doesn't specifically name cigarettes as a form of litter. Morrissey hopes to make punishment harsher on those who flick their cigarette butts onto Virginia roads.
I think it's disgraceful. Somebody wants their car to be clean, so they throw the cigarette butt or the ashtray out, but they have no regard for the environment. I think it's disgraceful.
Morrissey says that he's not giving up on his bill and hopes that it will pass next year. Check out the full audio piece online at rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net. The Rockbridge County landfill will not be closing at the end of this year as scheduled. A reevaluation by the Department of Environmental Quality has extended the landfill's operations until December 31st, 2014. County Administrator Bob Clater says the Board of Supervisors is considering different options for future waste removal, including a new transfer station or waste-to-energy processes. Officials will continue to discuss the plans as the closing date gets nearer.
With only 12 officers currently on the road, the Buena Vista Police Department is back to the same levels of manpower it had in 1971. Police Chief D.W. Slagle said that even though costs associated with running a well-trained police force on a daily basis are going up, necessary funding is not rising with them. Slagle said he will ask for a $20,000 increase in his budget, mostly to cover rising gas costs, but does not know if that will be passed by the cash-strapped city government. The police usually give their old patrol cars to other departments in the city. But since state grants have dried up, Slagle said he is forced to sell used police cars for needed equipment. While some officers are trying to take to the streets in Buena Vista, BV schools worry they might be losing their in-house police officer. At the end of the school year, the grant that funded Officer Chris Wheeler's position for the past 3 years will expire. Superintendent Rebecca Gates said the school has set aside some money to pay for the officer position next year, but the city of Buena Vista must also chip in if Wheeler is going to stay put. Wheeler says that despite Buena Vista's small size, he doesn't think students should be without an on-site police officer.
Kids here have the same problems that the bigger city kids have. There's folks here that have, the families that do have substance abuse problems anywhere and everywhere that we go, and they can benefit from it just like the bigger cities can benefit from it.
The year before Wheeler began working at Perry McClure High School, there were 26 fights. In the 3 years that Wheeler has worked at that school, only 3 fights have occurred.
Dabney S. Lancaster Community College is launching a program designed to help high school dropouts get better jobs. The program is free to 18 to 24-year-olds without a high school diploma or GED. Students who complete the program will earn a career readiness certificate, which evaluates their workplace skills, and may continue on to get a GED. Even though applications for the program were made available in late January, the program's director, Joyce Bruffman, says she hasn't received any applications. She says she's hopeful that that will change soon.
It is possible. It's just hard to take that first step, but I know that there will be people to support. So I'm hoping that the folks who are aware of this program will believe in themselves enough to pick up the phone and make that first phone call.
The official deadline for middle college program applications is March 30th, but Bruffman says anyone interested may call until the start of classes in August. Man's Best Friend may finally have a place to play in Lexington, despite some objections. If the Planning Commission approves the dog park, they will reserve about 1 acre of Woods Creek Park for the dog park. Some neighbors of Woods Creek Park think dogs are too noisy and unsafe for the area, but the dog park committee said Woods Creek is the most convenient and dog-friendly location in Lexington.
Yeah, kind of the way it works is when you go to a dog park, it's your dog's ability to socialize. And a lot of socialization, when we talk about socialization with humans, it involves verbal communication. But with dogs, it's not so much that as much as, playing and learning appropriate behaviors. And oftentimes, dog parks are void of barking because of the fact that dogs are getting to know each other and they're playing and they're using their excess energy rather than, putting it towards something like barking.
Residents will be invited to an upcoming Planning Commission meeting to speak for or against a Woods Creek dog park. Find out who Washington and Lee students picked as the Republican presidential candidate after the break.
And later, find out what has some students putting down the books and picking up the tools.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
If Washington and Lee students have their say, Mitt Romney will be the Republican candidate for the presidency. WNL's Warner Center hosted some of the Republican Party's biggest stars last weekend for the 25th Quadrennial Mock Convention. The overflow crowd heard party luminaries like Governor Mike Huckabee and House Majority Leader Eric Cantor. Cantor proposed a 20% tax cut on small businesses from the MockCon stage. He said it was a fitting place to unveil the plan.
These are future leaders of Virginia and America. What better messengers to take? What better people to get behind an idea that strikes at the entrepreneurial nature of our country?
Romney won MockCon's nomination by a landslide. The convention has picked the right candidate 75% of the time since its inception in 1908.
Former Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour keynoted the MockCon final session. Barbour has refused to explain his decision to pardon more than 200 convicts, including 4 convicted murderers. Those pardons have angered victims' families. In an effort to get an explanation, CNN's Ed Lavandera came to Lexington and MockCon to try and get those answers.
Since Haley Barbour won't come to us, we thought we'd go to him. We found the former Mississippi governor giving a speech at Washington and Lee University in Lexington, Virginia.
Hi, Governor Ed Lavandera with CNN.
Hey, Ed, how you doing?
If we talk to you real quick.
Let me go get my instructions first, then we'll talk.
Can you come out and talk to us here in a second?
He wouldn't give us a second and walked right inside the building, but not before showing us what he thought of the questions.
Governor, can you talk to us about the pardons?
Let me get my business right here.
All right, we'll wait for you out here then.
Stay where it's cold.
Just told me to stay where I'm cold.
We waited. Barbour didn't come back. We went inside to find him giving his speech. The theme, ironically enough, was how government needs to do a better job of explaining its actions.
But you know, I learned a great lesson about government when we did the census in 1970, and that is that the government is not a very good communicator. That the government doesn't do a very good job at getting things across. So I've been trying all of my career to do a better job.
But Governor Barbour wasn't in the mood to practice what he just preached.
Governor, can we get a few minutes to talk about the pardons with you?
Not really. When the Supreme Court rules, then it'll be time to talk.
But
I'm not so presumptuous as to predict. I'm not so presumptuous as to predict what the Supreme Court's going to do. But when they rule, then we can talk.
That's true, but the families want to hear. The families want to hear from you. Why won't you talk to them?
The governor walked away again, so we waited outside to give him one last chance. This time he surrounded himself with security to keep us away.
Have to move back, please. You
All right.
move over there so you can come out.
Governor, we can knock this out in 5 minutes, Governor. Governor, can we just get 5 minutes?
When the Supreme Court rules, then we'll be able to.
So why can't you talk to these families who want to hear from you, who you refuse to meet with?
All right.
Do you regret pardoning?
Thank you very much, sir.
The door slammed before I could finish asking if he regretted pardoning Harry Bostic, a repeat DUI offender. Bostic was in jail suspected of a 4th DUI after a crash that ended in the death of 18-year-old Charity Smith. The question remains unanswered still. Ed Lavandera, CNN, Lexington, Virginia.
Stay tuned to find out why Frank's Pizza has been a Lexington landmark for over a quarter of a century.
And for some students, the classroom is not only a place to learn, but also a place to give back. Find out more after the break.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Area residents seeking classic Italian food have turned to Frank's Pizza for more than 30 years. Rockbridge reporter Alex Marigos gets a taste of what makes a perfect pizza.
Hello, Frank's Pizza, can I help you?
Frank's Restaurant on East Nelson Street has been serving pasta and sandwiches to Lexington residents since 1978, but its specialty is authentic Italian pizza. Frank's owner, Tony Scotto, has been trying to make the perfect pizza since he immigrated from Italy over 3 decades ago. So what makes a perfect pizza?
Cheese doesn't really make pizza. It's sauce.
But Scotto says his signature sauce is just the beginning. A massive refrigerator stores the vegetables, meats, and cheeses that with the dough make a Frank's pizza.
We make it fresh every day. You know, make it, leave it up, let it raise, rice, and you know, put it back in the refrigerator, use it the next day, then make another batch for, you know, it's like a chain.
Once the pizza is properly decorated, it's cooked in one of Frank's giant ovens for 8 to 12 minutes. These pizzas, along with Frank's other dishes, allow Scotto to give Lexington a little taste of Italy. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Alex Maragos.
Even though football season has finished, Italian food aficionados still flock to Frank's.
Don't let today's rain stop you from making dinner plans tomorrow night. The rain will dry up tomorrow, leaving partly cloudy skies with a high of 55 and a low of 32. Saturday, more clouds will roll in and the highs will stay in the mid-50s and the low dropping to 38. The rain will return on Sunday and Lexington may even see some snowflakes with lows reaching 25. The sun will come out in full force on Monday with a high of 49 and a low of 29. Rounding out the forecast, Tuesday will see some clouds with highs returning to the mid-50s and lows getting down to 40.
The Virginia High School League is considering moving from a 3-group classification system to a 6-group system. The proposal would place schools in groups based on student population. The proposal would also place Roanoke's William Fleming High School into the Blue Ridge District. Rockbridge County High School Principal Scott Jeffries says some school officials are worried about the fairness of having RCHS, with a little more than 900 students, play Fleming, which has more than 1,300 students. But Jeffries says he would be happy to have them in the Blue Ridge District because it would help hold Rockbridge County to high athletic expectations.
I know we really enjoy, we really respect the member schools of Blue Ridge District currently, and we've had some very, very good relationships with them. And so I'm excited that if this proposal does go through, we will continue to maintain those relationships. And so that's exciting. Hopefully we've kind of found a home, so to speak.
A statewide meeting on March 7th, 8th, and 9th in Richmond is the earliest that a decision will be made about the proposal. If it is approved, it will not go into effect until the 2013-2014 school year.
Local high schoolers make more than just grades in the classroom. Some make houses. Last month, Rockbridge County High School received a $10,000 grant from the Lowe's Charitable and Education Foundation. Rockbridge reporter Alex Cummings has the latest on how this money will be spent.
Catherine Nash of Lexington doesn't work for the typical paycheck. The hours she clocks each day go towards something much larger, a home.
I can come here to the store as part of what Habitat refers to sweat equity. The time that you put in working on your house.
In June, Nash will trade her sweat equity hours for this brand new home, built by the students in Kirk Bennett's building trade classes.
People live in this project. People take this project, the senior project, and they can call it a home.
I think it's pretty cool because most people, when they leave school, you know, they don't leave something that will last.
Not only does it help families that need a house, but it actually helps the high school in a way because they get to provide a work environment.
In January, Bennett received a $10,000 grant from the Lowe's Charitable and Education Foundation. This grant will help people like Catherine become homeowners by giving students the proper tools to succeed.
We also need to make sure that it's valid for our students to be able to take their skills and turn them into something that is very, very relevant.
The program also teaches new residents how to take care of their homes.
I knew the basics, but nothing in depth like I'm learning for this house. Little hints like, please change your filter and keep it changed.
The Habitat program is a learning experience for students and residents alike. By the summer, Catherine Nash will turn the high school house into a home here in Greenhouse Village. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Alex Cummings.
Bennett expects the check within the next 2 weeks. His students say they can't wait to continue their hands-on education with a new set of tools. Well, that's all we have for you today. We'll be away next week, but we'll return in 2 weeks. In the meantime, check out the Rockbridge Report online at rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net. I'm Alex Maragos.
And I'm Megan Shaw. Thank you for tuning in tonight.